Welcome in Amsterdam.
It's a magnificent convergence,
Sure is.
whether we're here or not.
Always. This morning I was preparing this workshop, and was under the shower, fresh, warm water. And then I was thinking about a bit older movie. It's called The Kid, featuring Bruce Willis. And it's about a PR agent, about 40 years old. And one moment he's meeting his 8-year-old version in his own house. And they have great adventures and great expansion. Later in the movie, they also meet together their future version. And they have great fun together. So I was wondering, how can we meet more consciously our future versions?
Well, the first thing that we want to establish together is that what you want to call future is already in the works. And the way you find it is by feeling for it, because that movie, while it was provocative, was so vibrationally inaccurate that to try to replicate it in your own life will just cause you a lot of trouble. So just watch the movie and enjoy it. But when you accept that there is what you want to call future, which we call a now reality that it's already been gathered, and you understand that in order for you to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, which is what your question just asked for, in order to do that, you've got to find the vibrational frequency of it until it begins to come into focus, which means you've got to be willing to feel the pleasure of it even before you see it. And that's the thing that is the most difficult for humans, because you are much more accustomed to responding to what you're observing with your physical senses than you are, and here's the key, to what you're observing with your emotions. So by reaching for the pleasure of this moment and this moment and this moment, you tune yourself to this future experience. You call it future, we call it a done deal. You tune yourself to it so that it can begin flowing into your experience. This is a good way of looking at this. So as people in groups like this are watching Esther in her physical body, allowing the consciousness of this collective consciousness of the teachers of Abraham to flow through her, to some who maybe are new to it or reluctant to follow the premise that there is a non-physical source that is feeding information to her that she's translating vibrationally, to some of them this just looks like someone who's pretty sure about what she's talking about, maybe very practiced in her words, who is presenting yet just another opinion that if people are smart, they will just take it or leave it. In other words, it's just yet another opinion of so many oppressing opinions that people are trying to force feed you. In other words, it's just so many words. But if you feel some resonance in some of what you hear here, not even hearing it from somewhere else, and you have found a way to tune to this higher frequency of who you really are, so that the thoughts are flowing easily into your mind because there's no resistance keeping them out of your mind. You've got your valve open and they're flowing in, and you receive an idea, maybe not earth-shattering, maybe not like writing on a wall, but something that just feels like an interesting thing that you might want to do. And so you follow through with that impulse, and then that impulse leads to something, then leads to something, and you show yourself that by being tuned in, you received an impulse, and that impulse was pure guidance, and you moved rather swiftly toward the unfolding of things that you want. Now your own experience has shown you how this universe works. The reason that so many people don't remember or don't know it more efficiently right now is because they don't have control of their own thoughts. And the reason they don't have control of their own thoughts is because they're wanting to do their observing of the things they can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, rather than observing what they're feeling. And so when you decide that you're going to feel your way into the frequency of your vortex, and then once you're in the frequency of your vortex, then what's already being revealed to you can be realized by you. It's the realization of it that you've got to get yourself queued up for. The consciousness is raining down around you. The blessings are raining down all around you. The opportunities are being shown to you constantly. But you know, don't you sometimes find yourself talking to people who aren't listening, your children mostly, conveying something with great specific, and they miss it altogether. They just didn't hear it because they can't hear everything that you're saying because they're not really on your wavelength. Your wavelength is, I have some things I would like to impart to you that would make your life go better, or maybe even make our life go better. I'm looking for cooperative components in this group of people, children or employees or whoever they are. And what they're hearing is blah, 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 as they're not on the wavelength with you. And so the same thing happens. You've got to get yourself tuned to this frequency, and then those impulses come to you, and that's how you see what you want to call future. But the thing is, it won't stay future very long, because you're going to feel it in the moment. And the more moments that you're feeling it, in every moment that you feel it, a piece of it's going to be realized by you, not revealed to you. It's already revealed to you. But there's a big difference between it being revealed and you receiving what's being revealed. Oh, you'll get so good at this. You'll get so that you will so look forward to those few minutes when you deliberately quiet your mind so that you can watch the movie for the pleasure of it, not because you're trying to make something happen or fix something that's broken, for the pleasure of that alignment with who you really are. Did we get there, or is there another piece of this?
Well, I recognize these impulses more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's really fun to follow them. It's interesting that sometimes an impulse, you think it leads to A, but then it leads to B or C or D, and those are the most fun.
Sometimes when it really gets good, after you've practiced this alignment and have experienced it often, sometimes you will feel an impulse to move right into something that formerly you would have thought you should avoid. But it's so meaty in there. And in that, what you formerly would have called a contrasting moment that you could have done without, now you're in step 5, where you realize there's clarification in this uncomfortable moment. And as you witness rockets of desire being born right before your eyes, you don't feel resentful about what happened, or unhappy about what happened, or guilty about what happened. Instead, you acknowledge you were being guided by your source energy into something that you thought was a problem, that was full of a question, that brought a solution, that was evolution that you've been asking for. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly the story how I found my new house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We have enjoyed it immensely. Now what?